All right, here's a question. Should welfare recipients be drug tested to get food stamps? Wisconsin's Governor Scott Walker now trying to make this happen after being previously blocked by the Obama administration back in 2015. So will he be able to legally move forward on this now under the Trump administration? Here now to weigh in is attorney Emily COMPAGNO. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. We appreciate it. So in Wisconsin, let's bring up just some numbers here real quick. Here's some food stamp participation numbers. As of October 2017 of this year, 670,000 people on food stamps in the state of Wisconsin, in Scott Walker State, costing about $728 million of Wisconsin's budget. So this is no small portion of money for the state of Wisconsin. I mean, that's a lot of people. It's a lot of money. The question I guess people have is that if you're going to be asking the government for assistance and you're also messing around with drugs, which is probably not helping you get a job at all, is it fair that you should be punished for that in some way? Legally, is there a case to be made against it?
Right, but here's what's so interesting about this program in particular. So Governor Walker is not arguing that taxpayers shouldn't fund those who are on drugs for food stamps. He's arguing actually that the skilled workers who in jobs would pass drug tests should keep those jobs, and that those who need to be rehabilitated from drug use should be put in rehabilitation. So under his plan, those that fail the drug test would be put into state-funded rehabilitation programs. Now note too that he estimates only a little over 220 applicants would actually fail the drug test, and they would be rehabilitated to an estimated cost of just under $900,000. So it's actually financially really inefficient, frankly, especially considering the defense of the obvious litigation that will ensue from this.
But it's working to improve the population and hopefully get people off the drugs. And it's, so he's saying that you'd still stay on the program. Even if you do test positive for drugs, you stay on the food stamp program, and then they get you help to get off drugs. Where is the argument against this is what I can't figure out. I mean, it sounds like it's good for everybody.
Right. Well, the courts have consistently ruled these kind of programs unconstitutional. That they say that, look, the states fail at proving the special needs required to conduct these searches without probable cause or reasonable suspicion. And they say, look, being impoverished, that's not a condition that inherently lends itself toward a dangerous condition that you will likely abuse drugs. And they've held that suspicionless searches really are relegated more to industries where public safety is at stake. So that would be railroad workers or armed officers or the like. Now, note, Governor Walker, though, he's not alone in this. Last year, he and 11 other governors petitioned the federal government both for clarification and approval for these programs. The administration has yet to respond, however. Okay,
let's broaden this out to the whole country here and take a look at some of the stats here. In 2016, here are the U.S. food stamp statistics here. 44 million participants, and it costs $125 a month for each of them. So we are talking about serious money in this country. A lot of people say, hey, if you want my help, if you want my tax dollars to pay for you and your food and other kinds of welfare, you should be held accountable for your actions, and you should be drug tested. And that argument hasn't gone very far at all. I mean, I think a lot of people have said that that's unfair. Is it unfair to assume that?
Right. Well,
from a legal standpoint?
Right. I think the courts have focused again on that, on what is the cause for the search. So you need to have probable cause or reasonable suspicion, and that at this point the state's in that argument that isn't enough to justify suspicionless, probable causeless searches of these individuals. So regardless of the fair argument, that's what Governor Rick Scott argued in Florida. He argued exactly that. The court still held on to the fact that you need more to conduct these searches, fairness aside.
A lot of people say that I had to be drug tested at work to get the money to pay for these food stamps. Right. You should have to be drug tested in order to receive them as well. So
it's hard.
There's two sides of that argument. Okay, Emily, thank you so much for coming on this morning.